welcome back to Building the Routemaster with Building with the Boys. It is Sunday, December 5th, in the morning, 7 o'clock. It's freezing bloody cold. But we've had a lot turn up over the past couple of days. So we've had Ecto turn up, we've had the Routemaster turn up, we've had R2-D2, we've just finished Iron Man this week. So we're getting slightly overwhelmed, so I'm having to burn through these because with Christmas coming, as much as in my head I'm thinking, well, over the Christmas break I could just relax and build some models, I know that's not going to happen because as a father of two, I know my time is going to be spent, Dad, can you put batteries in this? Dad, can you put stickers on this? Dad, can you build this for me? So the chances to build anything for myself, pretty slim. So I've got to get these out of the way before that happens. This is pack 2 of the Routemaster, and Routemaster is a dream. It really is a gift when these things turn up and you get 2 big boxes of stuff. And this is pack 2. We're building the chassis, and by the end of this one we'll pretty much be complete with the chassis, but pack 3 is when it's done completely. So pack 3 we will have a complete rolling chassis, but by the end of this one it's pretty much built. I mean, we've got to add the front axle to it, and then next month it's the engine and bits and pieces of that. But for the actual chassis body itself, you'll see what I mean when we're done with this one. The sort of hefty stuff is done in this one. I've got to answer some questions. I had some questions come through. One of the main ones is, what's your name? I'm sorry, I didn't realize I never introduced myself. My name's Scott, and the kids that I build with, they're my sons. That's Oscar and Jack. And with regards to modelling, I've always done modelling, but never really on the scale that we're doing it at the moment. It was something that whenever I could grab some time I would do, but then when the pandemic hit, we really got into it. I mean, it was how I've spent the past 2 years, basically. Just my free time is spent building models, because things we used to we couldn't do anymore. We bought Ecto 1 originally as a means to bribe the kid into doing his homework, and the deal was, you do your homework, you get to build a pack of Ecto 1 on a Sunday. And then Boris told everyone to stay at home, and everything snowballed, and now here we are. So I'm building models from the sort of big part work models, but I also build a lot of Roker and Robot Time, the wooden models. If you've never seen those, they're a lot of fun. Incredi builds, a nice little wooden models you can build. Metal Earth, not a fan. I've done a couple, but yeah, that's what. So hopefully that's answered some of your questions. There's a lot to do in this one, so I'm going to crack on with it, and we'll show you what we've done by each pack. Again, rather than me just constantly watching me screw things together, I'll show you what we're building, I'll show you what it looks like at the end, and we'll have a bit of a wrap up, and we'll see how we get on. Wish me luck. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is the steering mechanism. So this is what we have, and it doesn't look like a lot, but it's actually quite complicated. We're going to be adding this to the wheel axle that we built in pack 1. And there we are. There is part 1 of pack 2 complete. We've got this steering arm in here, looking really rather lovely, and it went together fairly easily. I mean, there was no real, no real drama, no real trauma there. Quite nice. It's a nice build, this. It really is. It having done a lot of steering arms and things on different cars, this was actually quite a dream. And this is pack number 2 of pack number 2, and it is the rear left suspension arm. This is what's going to start to build our chassis frame, and then straight after this we're doing the right side of it, so it's just a repeat of what we've just done. So I'm going to build both, then show you them both built. And there we have stages 3 and 4 complete. These are the suspension arms. What I like about this as well is, I mean, a lot of this is going to have no functionality. It isn't. It's detailing, because this is as the vehicle is. So it is as the model is, and that is why these models aren't, cost as much as they cost, and have as many parts they have, because it is down to the letter. Everything that should be there is there. It's a beautiful thing. They really are. These will go together, and they will make part of the chassis ultimately. But yeah, pretty things. Okay, we're going to move on to pack 4, see what comes. And here we have pack 4, which is the rear axle. Now the rear axle, once this is together, is going to bring these 2 parts together, and we'll start to get something in the ways of a structure and a frame. So let's crack on. It's all metal, this as well. This is very heavy lumps of metal, so I can see why this bus is going to end up being as heavy as it is. That is pack 4 complete, and you can see what I mean about how quickly this chassis is starting to go together. So you can see this is what we built here, and we've attached it to the suspension arms that we built earlier. I've actually put, like we did with the Ecto, I've put a little note inside here, just a little signature and the date we built it, like a time capsule, so one day if someone breaks it open, well, they'll know. I hope they don't, but we'll know it's there. Anyway, moving on to stage 5 now, which is the suspension arm. Should be a quick little build, this one, and then we'll check back in, show you how we got on. Really quick. So that was like a 30-second build. So we were literally just putting these two arms into the suspension arm here. And I do want to come across that is the quickest part we've built on this, in all of part 1 and part 2 so far. And I do spare a thought for those that blaze the trail, the ones that used to do this through a weekly subscription with a newsagent. If you wait a whole week for your next build and it was over in 30 seconds, must have stung, man. So again, hats off to those that blaze the trail for us. Anyway, we're going to move on to part 6 now. And here we are with part 6, and it is a hulking great lump of metal. I give you some idea. I have monstrous hands. This is huge, and this is the rear chassis frame. Now, typically, on all the ones I've done, there's not a lot to do when it comes to fitting frames like this, but I think this one actually looks like there is. The ones I've done before, I mean, when it comes to these massive pieces, they're huge, but it's like 2 or 3 bolts and it's done. But this one looks a little bit more complex, so we'll put it together and we'll show you how it looks. We have part 6 complete. Part 6 of pack 2, and wow, it's this is a heavy lump of metal. It really is, and you can see everything's now coming together. So we put these in, we've put the springs in place. It's looking really rather lovely. I mean, this is suspension. It is stiff as you like, but again, with the amount of weight that's going on this, you need good suspension. So I'm really liking this, and this is fantastic so far. We've got another hulking great lump of metal about to go on in part 7 of pack 2. Okay, so here is number 7. Again, hulking great lump of metal, and this is more in line with the chassis assemblers I was talking about earlier, where it's quite simple. It looks like a lot, but it isn't. I mean, this is literally going to be bolting this piece of chassis to the other piece of chassis and adding some screws. So it should be fairly quick, but will make a fairly massive impact once it's done. And there we have the bulk of our chassis complete. That's at stage 7. 8, 9 and 10 are wheels. So we are doing 2 wheels for here. We'll have 1 wheel for here, and then we won't get the final wheel until next month to finish off that back part. And then we will be adding what we've built over here to the front next month as well for a complete rolling chassis. But I'm going to crack on with the wheels now, using again the hot water method that we used last month. And that is it. So that is 7, 8, 9 and 10. So there we go. We've got 1 wheel over here, we've got these 2 here. And these 2 wheels bolted together to make this. And then went on. And then if we zoom out, that's everything that we've done in this pack, in pack 2. And I mean, wow. Okay, this has just been put there just to give you an idea of where it's going to go. It's going to go a bit more forward than that. But this is a big chassis. And it's impressive. 2 packs in, and I've got a whole box full of glorious red parts on the bus. We got the cap we're not put on yet. I just put some chassis stands on here at the moment, just take some of the weight off these wheels because there's only 2 wheels it's on. But wow! So pack 3, which will be coming in January, we'll complete this. We will have a rolling chassis. But I mean, you can see the size of this thing. Again, my monstrous hands. You can see just how big this thing is. It's huge. It really is. I mean, it's coming in already at... Okay, if we start at 1 centimetre and we go all the way down, it's coming in at about 56 centimetres already. Now, the interesting thing about this is there's more that comes off the back that isn't chassised as such, where you're going to enter the bus about here. So there's more to come on the length of this thing. But, wow. I mean, it's an absolute beast, and it's a joy to build. It really is. So that's it for the month. That's pack 2 done, and it's 7 o'clock at night now. But it's not took me 12 hours. A friend called, needed some help building something in his garden, so I had to skip out and do that, and I've come back and finished it off. it's a joy to build. It really is. I've got this stupid grin on my face because it's just fun building it. It really is. Now, the amount of these I've done that aren't that fun up to this point. Now, I don't know if it's because there's so many parts that you're getting satisfaction because you can kind of see how much goes up how quickly. I mean, if I was doing this weekly, I don't know if I would or wouldn't have the same sort of satisfaction from it, you know? If I built like one part, like one wheel, but like, oh, that's it for a week. It might, I don't know, that might, I don't know, maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. I think it's the fact that how fast this thing is just flying up, and it really is, because again, next month, in pack 3, the rolling chassis is complete. It is, it's done. And we move back on to pretty red parts. So I know we start building the driver's cab. So we'll have all 4 wheels, well, all 6 wheels, sorry, on this bus next month. The engine will be built, the exhaust will have gone on it, the gearbox will have gone in, all of those bits and pieces. And then we move on to the driver's cab. And we start again with the sort of red pretty parts of the bus. Then after that, we really are just getting the bus out. We're doing the interior of the bus. We start with the bottom deck, which is a long time. Well, I say a long time, again, with these packs, it really isn't that long. A lot of seats, obviously, to be built and put in here. But just a joy, just an absolute joy to build. I mean, by contrast, I built Ecto 1 yesterday. Didn't enjoy it, which is strange because I've really been enjoying Ecto 1. But yesterday's was a bit miserable. But this has just been pure fun. It really has. We were hoping to do R2-D2 today, but because I had to go out, that hasn't happened. So R2-D2 will be tomorrow, possibly. We've got to see how we get on with that. But this is a joy. It really is an absolute joy to build, and I can't recommend it enough. I don't know if I'll still be saying that 3-4 months from now. But so far, this is gorgeous. Just this massive chassis, and it gives you an idea of how big the bus is going to be. It's not the same. It's not the same size as Ecto 1 by any means. Ecto 1 is massive, but the height of this thing is going to be ridiculous. What with it being a double-decker bus, and there is still a good, I don't know, 10 centimeters or so to add onto this thing, so it is going to be big. But it's just such a different vehicle to Ecto. It's and it's just a British classic. It really is, and I love that. I really do. Again, thanks to the community that have been helping out. And something else that I'm going to be doing with this, thanks to a Facebook group that I'm a member of, that specialise mainly in custom figures, custom scale figures. I had an idea of what I want to do with the bus. Now, with this one, because it's not so sci-fi and geeky as the other ones that we're doing, it's probably going to be displayed downstairs in the house. Because again, it's almost like an ornament. It's a thing of beauty. But I want to make it a seasonal thing. Hear me out. So as much as I like the 1966 people that come with it, the idea being that at Halloween, I want monsters. I want skeletons riding the bus, is what I want. I want it to look like a Halloween thing, and we're going to light it up accordingly. Little pumpkins and things like that. Maybe change the lights to green. And then at Christmas, what I really want to do, I think it's because it's that time of year and all the movies are on. I'm looking to get scale figures of the Grinch and Harry and Marv and John McClane and the Gremlins and just Kevin McAllister, Clark Griswold, everybody from Christmas movies. I want scale figures of them. If it takes me a year to build them, it takes me a year to build them. I don't care. And fill the bus with them and give it a Christmas theme. I've already looked at the posters that we can put onto magnetic backing, so we can switch those in and out and have Christmas themed posters on the side of the bus, and that's what I want to do. So at Halloween, it's going to be like the Halloween bus. Christmas with the Christmas bus. I don't know if I'm going to go as far as to change it for summer and winter. I don't know, but I'd also like it to be a little bit time machiney. I'd like some 80s people to go on there. I'd like a punk. I'd like a yuppie businessman with a big mobile phone, things like that. That's kind of what I want, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm gonna make this thing a living ornament. So it's going to change with the seasons. That's what I want to do. That's what I am going to do. But we're a long way from that. That's just kind of me in the very early ideas phases. But this is it for the Routemaster for this year, and we'll be back in the new year with pack 3. if you don't watch any of the videos or any of the channels, let me take this opportunity to say Merry Christmas to you all. Let's hope next year is a shitload better than this year. Can it get much worse? Who knows? But honestly, have a good Christmas. Thank you to everybody that's been support in any way, shape or form. And what I'll say to all of you, in a world where you can be anything at all, be nice. Just be nice. It really is that simple. If you can be nice to somebody, if you can be kind to somebody, you can make somebody's day a little bit better by any way, shape or form, be it some grand gesture or something as small as saying, hey man, you look good today, you know, or hey, how you doing, buddy? You good? If you can be nice, because it's hard to be nice. It's easy to be horrible. Don't take the easy route. Be nice. Have a Merry Christmas. God bless you all, and I'll see you in the new year.